On Tyra, the whole world saw these photos. You read the headlines.
Tyra pork chops, America's next top waddle.
That's what they said.
Now, hear what I have to say.
See the story that's taken front cover of People magazine. Plus,
3 young models died last year from anorexia.
are women following in their footsteps? An all-new Tyra starts now.
I want all of you to take a look at this recent photo of me. Does it look familiar? Well, it should, considering that this photo was splashed all over the world. It's been in magazines and tabloids and featured on nearly every single celebrity gossip website. The headlines claimed that I've gained 40 pounds since I stood on this very stage in my underwear for our panty party show that we did back in November. You guys, you cannot believe everything you read in the papers and on the internet. And I felt like this picture is so outrageous that I wanted to do something equally as outrageous by standing here, extremely vulnerable, in the same swimsuit next to this photo. And I feel it is so sad that I have to go to this extreme, but I'm doing it to prove a point. As of today's taping, this photo was taken 3 weeks ago. And just so you know, the day of my panty party, I weighed 150 pounds. But the holidays rolled around, and today I weigh 160 pounds. So that is 10 pounds that I have gained, not 40. You guys, I eat on this show. I eat all the time. I talk about how much I love to eat, and I gain weight. I lose weight constantly, just like everybody else. But I did not gain 40 pounds in 2 months because that's not healthy. And I've always told you guys I would be completely honest with you, and that's why I'm standing here today. And I feel crazy. I've stood on this stage before in lingerie, but it was woo, panty party, not woo, Tyra standing next to a picture of her from the tabloids. And again, you guys, this picture was photographed 3 weeks ago. So take a look at that picture and take a look at me now. All I can say is there's something that ain't right about that picture, but I think it's for you to judge. And you guys, I'm not saying this is horrible. Like, I look at this picture and I think it's curvy. I think it's beautiful. I think it is hot. I think it is sexy. I do. But it's just not me, not right now. But the way that I'm eating, one day I will be like this, and that is okay. This tabloid obsession with weight is absolutely ridiculous, especially the way the photographers, you guys, they sit there and they have their long lens cameras and they're waiting for an unflattering angle. Ooh, her booty's big right there. Ooh, click, 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 click. You know, they wait to make people look at their absolute worst. And I'll admit it, I have looked at those magazines from time to time, but when it happens to you, you realize how crazy it is and how hurtful it is. So I want to take a closer look at that tabloid photo of me, all right? This is the one that everybody has seen everywhere. It's not a good angle. You know, the booty's looking a little thick. You know, I still think it's sexy, but for what America or the world thinks is beautiful, this ain't it, all right? So let's take a look at some of the other photos that were snapped that very same day, because I was actually doing a swimsuit photo shoot in Australia. And this is the raw film from that photo shoot, which means that none of these photos were retouched or altered in any way. No retouching, not at all. So this is me in the same swimsuit. And I actually like this picture. I think it's sexy. I feel like it's flattering, but I know that people in the industry would say, or even some people looking at a magazine would be like, oh my God, Tyra's thighs look a little big. You know, so they might retouch that picture. Just, all right, but this is a photo taken a couple of frames later. This would be considered better because I'm working the angle. All right, I want to look at some other pictures that were taken the same day, the exact same day, but in a different swimsuit. All right. I want you to look at my midsection right here. I think it's pretty smooth, pretty flattering, but I want you to look at this next photo. When I lean to the side, y'all, look what happened. I'm 33 years old now, so, you know, when I was 18, you know, that didn't happen, but that happens now. I want to look at another picture. This is another picture, that different swimsuit that day that I shot. Standing up, no retouching, but I think it's flattering, you know. But then, check out this next one. Look at my stomach. Get a close-up of that. Get a close-up of the stomach. It's hanging over a little, couple of dimples, you know. But look at the cellulite, y'all. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 dimples in my booty. That's my body. That's my body unretouched. So there you go. That is me. Now let's go back to that first photo from the tabloids. This is the photo that inspired the headline. Tyra Banks gained some weight. And when I say some, I mean a lot. Or this headline. Former model Tyra Banks reminds the world why she is now retired from the runway. But wait, y'all. No, there's more. There's this one I really love. Dude, did Tyra gain like 50 pounds below the neck? Or this one, Tyra pork chops. Yeah, and my personal favorite, America's Next Top Waddle. All right, so when I came back from Australia, you guys, I came back and I was so happy. I was like, ooh, I had a great vacation, I got a tan. But all my friends and family and all people started calling me, girl, you better turn on the news and turn on the gospel stations and go on the websites because they were saying all these crazy things, that you gained 40 pounds, that you're almost 200 pounds. And at first I was insulted. I'm like, how can they bring that to me? Like, if you're my friend and you love me, you should try to protect me from that. So I went to bed, that night, and I was like, forget them. But then I woke up in the middle of the night, and I ran to the computer and I Googled Tyra fat. I couldn't help myself. And you guys, I thought that these Australian pictures were gonna show up, but all of the kind of stuff showed up. And I was like, dang. All right, this is a really popular photo from a Hollywood gossip blog that I'm not gonna say what blog it is, but I want you to check this out. This is me at the Victoria's Secret fashion show when I retired. My very last walk I ever did, gave up modeling, and they actually circled a fat roll on my side as I was posing. And I was like, this is crazy because I felt like I'm happy to be 20 to 30 pounds heavier than the average model. I felt like that was a positive image, especially what's going on now in society with models and women like hating themselves and hating their bodies. So I felt like, this is positive. I love my role. I love that role. But obviously, long before this recent tabloid photo came out of me in my swimsuit, people were already blogging about how fat they think I was. The bottom line is that people are used to seeing me looking like this and like this and all that. And everyone seems to be pretty okay with that. But for some reason, people have a serious problem when I look like that. All right? When I look like that. But luckily, I'm strong enough and I have a good support system. I love my mama. She has helped me to be a strong woman so I can overcome these kind of attacks. But if I had lower self-esteem, I would probably be starving myself right now. But that's exactly what is happening to other women all over this country. So I have something to say. To all of you that have something nasty to say about me or other women that are built like me, women that sometimes or all the time look like this, women whose names you know, women whose names you don't, women who've been picked on, women whose husbands put them down, women at work or girls in school. I have one thing to say to you. Kiss my fat ass. The media's obsession about weight is taking its toll. Women are pressuring themselves to become impossibly thin. So impossible, in fact, that some have recently died trying.
In the modeling world, height and weight are currency. The sad truth is that these days, the thinner you are, the more money you stand to possibly make. For years, I witnessed what the pressures of having an unrealistic body type did to girls in the modeling business. I even overheard a model bragging to her boyfriend that all she had to eat for the day was a cup of yogurt. In 2006, 3 models lost their lives to anorexia. The Headlines of newspapers and tabloids are challenging the fashion community to take action, and some have. Fashion icons such as Diane von Furstenberg and Vogue editor-in-chief Anna Wintour are spearheading the effort to make high fashion less fatal. Spain and Italy have both started to crack down on ultra-thin models by imposing weight standards on the catwalk. The things I've seen in the modeling world are unnerving. But what worries me most is that the fashion and entertainment industry has such a huge influence on young women, which may explain why so many women are dying to be thin.
Today we'll meet a model who weighs in at 88 pounds and thinks of herself as fat. But when we come back, we'll hear from the mother of Anna Reston, the Brazilian model who we all heard recently died of anorexia. We'll be right back.
Up next, the model who starved herself to death. Anna Reston's mom speaks publicly for the first time about her daughter's tragic passing from anorexia. And meet a super skinny model who may be following in her footsteps. And later, it's not just models. A 75-pound anorexic mother of two.
Nothing matters but being skinny.
You would rather leave them on this earth without their mother than be fat.
Struggles for her life.
Today we're talking about the epidemic of models who are dying to be thin. Now, when I was modeling, there was always a certain amount of pressure to stay in shape and be thin, and I felt it constantly. I modeled for 17 years, so that was something that I always felt, that pressure. But also in my era, models were 10 to 20 pounds heavier than the girls are now. And I know I used to model with Kate Moss back in the day, and I know, we all know, that Kate Moss inspired the term heroin chic because she was so waif-like and thin. But she's nowhere close to being as thin as today's models are. In fact, 3 young models died last year from anorexia, including 21-year-old Brazilian model Anna Reston.
Anna Carolina Reston was only 21 years old when she lost her battle with anorexia.
I miss her love and affection, her tenderness.
Her mother, Miriam, was gracious enough to share her story.
She fit in really well. She was so happy. She was booking jobs, and we were really happy for her. That's the life she always wanted. She loved it.
But that life was starting to take a toll on Anna.
I realized her career was hurting her. When she got back from China, she hugged me and said, "Mom, I want to be much, much thinner because out there they think I'm too fat and I need to be thin so I can help you and Dad." She was about 5'7" and weighed only 114 pounds.
The anorexia finally caught up with Anna during a show in Japan. She collapsed and was hospitalized for the first time.
She was so emaciated, so thin.
In an attempt to help her health, Anna spent 3 months resting with her mother.
And Anna insisted on going back to the city so she could help us. We were having a real hard time making ends meet.
In Sao Paulo, Anna collapsed again, this time ending up in intensive care.
She was starving herself, afraid of gaining weight, afraid of losing jobs.
Despite the hospital's efforts, Anna died. She weighed only 99 pounds.
I only hope more girls don't fall into the same trap. It is nothing but a dream and is not worth dying for.
To show you just how thin some models are today, I want you to take a look at this cardboard cutout of a runway model that recently worked in a New York fashion show. This cutout is life-sized. Her stats say she's 5'11" and a size 2, and her weight is not listed, but she's estimated to weigh 90 pounds. Now, my next guests are 4 women with very strong opinions about eating disorders and the fashion industry. We have Paige, who's a former model who suffered from anorexia. She's also the founder of Paige Premium Denim. Yael, Mia, and Michelle are working models. So I want to start with you, Yael. Do you feel that the fashion industry is to blame for Anna Reston's death, Brazilian model Anna Reston?
I think it's just a ridiculous kind of assumptions. I think that to be anorexic is a very, very strong disease, and to starve yourself to death, it's something that you have to be really mentally sick. And I think you cannot blame the industry. You need to blame, like you said, the family, the people that are around the person. They didn't, it's a red flag. When somebody's, torturing himself, it means he have a serious problem. And he doesn't know how to, project it out. So he's starving himself.
Mia, what do you think?
I totally blame. I blame her bookers. I blame her agency. I blame her clients for hiring her over and over again. I feel that as soon as there was one red flag raised, someone should have pulled her aside and said something to her.
What about the family? What about the family? Why do you need the bookers?
I don't think that you're the person to talk about this. You're sitting here telling us how the chair doesn't make you look small enough. You weigh 88 pounds.
Right, and I think I'm fat. And I want to be skinnier because I like being skinny.
Fat.
Oh, I'm not fat. It's relatively fat. I'm looking at myself and I'm comparing myself to what I like. I like very skinny, and you know what? The camera likes very skinny.
But Yael, you said that off camera, you said that the chair makes you look fat?
No, I said I don't look skinny enough.
She said, I don't look skinny enough in this chair.
No, I say when I'm sitting.
I don't like the way I look in this chair. I don't think I look skinny enough.
I don't look skinny enough. I'm like, do I look skinny enough? And but skinny.
How much do you weigh?
88 pounds.
88 pounds?
And that's overweight for me. I'm 80 pounds
But
usually.
This just makes me so sad to hear this.
Yeah, but I'm eating and I'm healthy, and I'm like, you can ask my doctor. You can eat a lot of vegetables and fruit and actually healthy food. But in this country,
what about your mind, Yael? What about your mind? You say that your body's healthy. You say your doctor said your bodily functions are fine.
My body.
But what about your mind? And the reason why I want to ask you that is because you said that you don't like sitting down. You look fat. You're very thin. You're 88 pounds.
Look, fat, I don't mean really fat. I mean fat relatively to what I like to see in the mirror. I like to be very thin in particular way, and when I do photo shoot, it looks great. As you know,
what does this body look like? You keep on comparing us, and we don't have the same views.
No.
So.
I'm not comparing.
What do you think this photo looks like?
This is her job. If she's probably being hired, that's what the industry wants.
You think she looks fantastic, don't you?
I think she looks okay.
That girl's kneecaps are the same width as her thighs. That is not natural.
Today I'm so fortunate that I have a company where I get to hire models, and I get to hire models that I believe are healthy. And when I look at that picture right now, Tyra, I would never hire that model because I would be so afraid of the image that I'd be portraying to the young girls out there. That's scary.
She doesn't think I'm healthy, but why do you think that you cannot be skinny and healthy? That's what I don't understand. You guys saying you have to be either anorexic or either fat. What about being skinny like me?
Let me tell you
and
something,
healthy?
Yael. When I was 11, 12, 13 years old, I was 98 pounds and the same height that I was. People thought I was anorexic. People thought I was sick. My doctors thought I was sick. I spent years being prodded with needles because they thought something was wrong with me. I was healthy, but I was 11 years old. I was 11 years old, and I was unhappy with how I looked because I didn't look healthy. To me, you don't look healthy, and not only do you not look healthy to my eyes, what you're saying is very unhealthy.
But that's your opinion. Apparently, other people.
We have to take a break, Yael, but we're going to come back. But I know one thing that you said was that when you were 104 pounds, you wanted to shoot yourself because you thought you looked fat. And we're going to talk about that when we come back. We'll be right back.
Up next, the pressure to be thin takes control of her life.
You don't think you're anorexic?
Of course not. I'm super healthy.
She is trying to convince herself that she is healthy.
You considering yourself curvy?
I'm curvy, baby.
Maybe you're fat.
And later, an anorexic woman barely clings to life.
Long ago, the doctors told me she's not going to pass out, she's not going to faint. One day she's just going to have a heart attack and die.
Way ever. Viewers went crazy for our holiday gift suitcases packed full of $4,000 worth of prizes. Everybody's getting and now you can get them too. But you gotta watch to win. Starting next week, it's the Tyra Girl Party Getaway Sweepstakes. Tune in for the word of the day, then text it to 43892. Diamond watches, iPods, our suitcases filled with girl party goodies, or a trip to Hollywood can be yours. Go to tyrashow.com for details.
For years, the media and fashion industry have bombarded the public with images of waif-thin models and celebrities. But recently, with the death of at least 3 models who suffered from anorexia, the fashion industry is talking. When it comes to fashion, some are saying there's a new must-have, and it's not the latest designer bag. It's healthier-looking models on the runway.
We've been talking to Paige, Yael, Mia, and Michelle, who are 4 very different models with very different opinions about what's happening in the modeling industry now. So Yael, I want you to tell me about your diet. What does your diet consist of?
My diet consists of mostly vegetable and fruit. I like to eat a lot of tofu. I don't eat meat. I don't eat chicken. And I really want, the people to know that for between 800 and 1,000 calories, you can really feed a lot of food
I need you to
inside
stop.
of this diet.
I don't want her to tell other women, enable them how to have an eating disorder.
Eating disorder, what? Eating a hamburger and a cheese and like huge fried and being swaddled up in
800 calories a day is not
800 calories a day is
a
not enough.
1,000 calories a day for somebody in my size, it's more than enough.
to maintain that size.
Why did you say that you wanted to die when you were 104 pounds?
I mean, it's an expression. I don't really want to die,
but it's a strong expression, so it means something. What is it?
It's mean that I just don't like my body. I don't like curves. I like skinny, I like lean, I like defined lines. I like the way I look super skinny on the camera.
I just want to ask you though, you think that that's normal, that we have no curves or no shape, or that we look at ourselves in the mirror and want to see like nothing? You want to see everything cut off your body.
Right, but that's a body shape. But that's my body shape. Everybody has to go by their body shape.
It's like looking in the mirror and like not enjoying the womanly curves that we're blessed with. We're supposed to have childbearing hips that we can like give birth.
I mean, that's
and give
okay.
babies.
If you like it, it's fine.
Your curves should not come from your bone protruding through
Okay,
your
you
skin.
considering yourself curvy?
I'm curvy, baby.
Maybe you're fat, and I'm very sorry to tell you that.
I'm fabulous.
And you know what?
I've worked hard to get this body that I have.
Not only that, I'm not talking about beauty, I'm talking about fat. And if you think you're healthy, you're super wrong. So tell me what's your diet consists of?
My diet
a hamburger
consists
and
of
5 French fries, like packs of French fries and a lot of big diet.
Mia, I don't want you to answer that and justify that.
I understand that she's trying to convince herself that she is healthy.
Everybody think I'm sick with anorexia because I'm skinny. I mean, this is kind of sickness.
You don't think you're anorexic?
Of course not. I'm super healthy. I mean, I'm eating so well. I'm consistently eating.
Michelle, what do you think about right now everybody knows in the news, or if you don't know, in Spain for Fashion Week just recently, they made a ban on very thin models and they actually have a minimum height to weight requirement. What do you think about that, Michelle, being a working model?
That is, the BMI measurement, and I went online last night to find out what mine was in relation to that. And when I was younger like you, I struggled with being so thin and ostracized and being, convicted of having an eating disorder, for years and years. And finally I started to gain a little weight, but it was awful, and I would do whatever I could to gain weight. But at this point I am naturally the way that I am, but in Europe I wouldn't be allowed to work. And I think that's wrong, because I am healthy and I look healthy, and I think it needs to be judged on a scale more girl to girl, because you can't just state a number and then have us all conform to it, because people just aren't built the same. We're all built differently.
Mia, what do you think about the ban in Spain?
I think that it is a step in the right direction if 6 months from now we're still paying attention to it. 6 months ago we were all about the Dove girls and the Real Beauty campaign and real women using girls who are size 12 to represent the average American woman. 62% of the women in this country are size 12 and above, which means that women who are this size are not normal. It's not average, it's below average.
Normal to who? To people live in America, because you guys don't
and
eat
the UK,
healthy
the numbers
food.
are similar.
You're wrong. Go to
I'm
Europe.
not wrong.
Let me tell you something about what I feel about the ban. When I first heard it, I was like, wow, this is great. But I think what the ban does is I think it helps models. I think it helps models not feel that they have to starve themselves to work, because they're looking at the girl next to her that is 10, 20 pounds lighter and going, oh my God, she's booking all the shows and I'm gonna have to starve myself to do that. But to me, a model that's 110 pounds or a model that's 120 pounds, if I'm a little 12-year-old girl at home watching TV and watching fashion shows, they're all skinny. They're all skinny, and it's all hard to live up to and attain. So I don't know, personally, I don't know how much it's helping the girl watching the fashion show.
What about the family? What about education? What about your parents teaching you what's right and wrong? I mean, you can't blame it all on the outside.
A lot of people I would really love
outside.
to say something about this, because you know how it is. You know how it is, Tyra, in the beginning of this. There's a lot of predators out there. There's a lot of families making money off of your modeling. There's families that need you to model.
I'm talking about the family of the people.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's a good
There's
point.
families that like they're putting their daughters out there because they want that daughter to be their meal ticket.
So that's the
There's an
family
agent. There's agents out there that you are making the money. for the ages. They're not going to stop you.
No, I'm talking about
They're
the
gonna,
family.
No, I'm talking about the family of the child.
It's a very good point that you're making, Paige, because a lot of people don't know this, that a lot of models come from third world countries,
Right.
from famine,
Yeah,
that
they're
you know
feeding their
that they're
family.
feeding their family. So not many people are going to speak up and tell that girl to start gaining weight because she is feeding.
No, and the agents
Everyone.
are making money
She
off
want to
of them.
stop
money
because she
making
want to
machine.
stop having all these
You are so
responsibilities.
defiant, Danielle, and you're that
no,
type of girl that
people
is
are
so
making money
dumb.
off of
Sorry.
you.
No, but
No,
I'm
but
saying you
listen.
just sound like sometimes when somebody is so defiant as you, it's because they're so damn wrong and they have to
They're
speak so
covering it up.
loud.
I'm
that
not
they
that
cover it up.
loud. I'm just like upset because everybody thinks that you cannot be skinny and healthy. That's what I'm
Yeah,
trying
my
to
point is what I
define.
was trying to say is I was skinny and healthy, but I was
Right.
not saying, oh my God, I want to be 10 pounds skinnier, oh my God, I want to kill myself because I'm 98 pounds
Yeah,
and
but
5
you know,
pounds.
no,
That's
There's
the
a
part that
difference.
makes me
You can be
scared.
skinny.
But there's
When I
one
look in the
thing,
mirror
but there's one
every
thing, you
day-
guys, I know we're focusing on modeling a lot, but the reason why I have my show called America's Next Top Model is I'm trying to bring models back to the covers of magazines. Not super skinny models, but models. I'm trying to bring that back because actresses have taken over.
Celebrities, yeah.
Celebrity has taken over. And I challenge everyone at home that's watching now, can you name 5 household name models? Household name, I'm talking about the Heidi Klums, the Cindy Crawfords, those type of models that are this scary, scary thin? Maybe a couple. But can you name 5 household celebrities, whether it's an actress or a singer, that are this scary thin? I think that's where the world is going now. I think that is what is shaping young girls because the supermodel right now is dead.
Well, celebrities grace the cover of almost all the
Of
magazines.
everything.
But
We'll be right back.
everything.
We'll be right back.
After the break, she weighs as much as a 9-year-old girl.
I would rather die than be fat. I would rather be dead than have to deal with the mental torture of being fat.
Today we're talking about the skinny epidemic in this country. Doctors say my next guest isn't just unhealthy, they can't believe that she is still alive. Lori is a 27-year-old woman with a husband and 2 young boys. She weighs just 75 pounds, as much as the average 9-year-old little girl.
Anorexia is a disease that can quickly take control of your life. And when it has you in its grip, it's hard to see any light at the end of the tunnel.
My name is Lori and I have anorexia. Growing up, I never had any issues with it, with my body, with my looks, with dieting, no signs of eating disorder whatsoever. After the birth of my second child, I decided that I wanted the baby weight off. I went on a diet, and within 6 months it became an obsession. One day it might be my face looks too fat. One day it might be my arms are too fat. It's always something. I wake up in the morning and start my day with coffee. I smoke cigarettes, drink occasional Diet Cokes. In the evening, I usually allow myself between 100 or 150 calories. The last words out of my mouth before I go to bed are, I'm sorry. I go to bed with fear every night that I've ate too much that day. I'm sorry. I'm very irritable. I snap very easily. My children, on a daily basis, they are on edge. They know that their mom is thin and sick all the time and that mom needs to eat. I would rather die than be fat. I would rather be dead than have to deal with the mental torture of being fat. I think that we live in a day where it doesn't matter if women are successful, if women are smart. Every woman is worried about the way she looks, what she doesn't eat, what she will eat. I don't know how it's ever gonna go away. Some days I don't even know if I want it to go away.
Lori, you said that you would rather die than be fat.
Yes.
You have 2 sons, so you would rather leave them on this earth without their mother.
I think you become so mentally enwrapped in it that you forget what your life was ever about,
all of your hopes and your dreams that were once so important to you are gone. Nothing matters but being skinny.
You know what's so odd for me right now, Lori? I'm looking at you, and I see like a 9, 10-year-old little girl. Your body looks like a little girl, but your voice is a woman. It's like the oddest thing to me. You're 75 pounds. When you look in the mirror, what do you see right now?
Every time I look in the mirror, I see a spot on my arm, a new roll on my side, or I have a lot of problems with my face. I've always said, you know, my face is just really fat. My face will never get thin enough.
Do you understand that other people don't see it? Or do you think everybody sees it? Like, I'm looking at you right now. There's no roll. There's bones and skin and hair. That's all I see.
The best way I can describe that is say that some people, yes, I think they look at me and think, yes, the girl is way too thin.
Do you know that you're way too thin, or do you know that you're sick? Or do you think that you're sick?
I do not, absolutely do not know that I am too thin. I know that I am sick. I am ill.
And that your illness makes you feel fat, so that you don't see what we see.
Yes.
All right. We've been talking about models and actresses all day, and the influence that has on women, women like you. Do you think that the media, Hollywood, fashion, has anything to do with your disease?
Oh, absolutely. I strongly feel that it has a huge impact on it. I buy the very magazines, that cause, I see now firsthand watching this today, the pain that it causes you guys. And we buy these very magazines that are promoting people, like everyday people like me, into an unrealistic thinness.
Yeah. Joining us now is the author of Life Doesn't Begin 5 Pounds From Now, a woman that I admire and love. She's amazing, Jessica Weiner. And Jessica has her own history with eating disorders. And I know that you've been listening to Lori's story. What do you think about her situation with you being pretty much expert in this area?
Well, I think first thing that I think about when I listen to you is that this is the disease talking. We're hearing what anorexia sounds like, Tyra. This is it. It's not based on logic. And I think just like millions of women out there who might start obsessing about losing the baby weight and then it spirals into something out of control, what she's speaking is unrealistic. It feels right inside, but it's an unrealistic image and view. And she's in danger. And I think she knows she's in danger. And a lot of people who are struggling feel trapped and in danger.
We'll meet Lori's husband after the break. We'll be right back.
Up next, a desperate husband's race to save his wife from death by anorexia.
Every day I wake up, I never know if it's going to be the last day that I see her.
Boys weighs a shocking 75 pounds. And sadly, the ravaging toll this disease has taken on her body is only matched by the toll it's taken on her family.
Joining us now is Lori's husband, Philip. So, Philip, what is it like seeing your wife, and I know you love her very much, what is it like seeing her struggle with this?
It is horrible. I mean, every day I wake up, I never know if it's going to be the last day that I see her.
If it's going to be the last day. What does that feel like, Lori, hearing your husband say that?
It hurts, but the eating disorder lies to you and says, nothing's going to happen. He's being ridiculous.
Nothing's gonna happen.
Nothing is going to happen. You will be fine.
I know that, Philip, I know your biggest fear is you said that she's not going to wake up one morning. And because you fear that so much, what have you done in terms of work?
I actually stopped working for a while, as long as I could, hang in there just to spend time with my wife and try to take care of her, because I love her and I want to spend every minute I can with her, and I'm scared one day that she's just not going to be there.
So you want to spend as much time as she has on this earth because you feel like she's going to die.
Right, I do. The doctor, last time we was at the doctor, or long ago, the doctors told me Lori's anorexia they said it is a different kind of anorexia. You know, hers is the kind that's going to kill her. She's not going to pass out. She's not going to faint. One day she's just going to have a heart attack and die.
You have 2 boys. How have they responded to this and dealing with this?
My 11-year-old boy, he's my oldest. He knew Lori before anorexia came, and you know, she was a way different person then, and it's hard on him. He struggles now in school, and he used to be so great in school, and you know, his attention just not as good as it used to be.
And I know the younger one says, "Mommy, eat something, eat something." And
yeah,
what do you say when he says that?
I do. I say I do eat something. You know, Mommy eats vegetables, or if, you know, he says, Mom, you know, try this, I'll say, no, you know, I don't eat that.
What do you want to say to your husband and children? What do you want to say to them?
And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that our life has become what it has.
What about to your boys?
That they're the reason that I'm where I am.
What does that mean? That they're the reason why?
That I'm alive, that I'm still alive. They're the reason that you don't know how many mornings I had woke up and said to myself, I'm not going to deal with this again today. I'm not mentally, I'm not going to deal with this again today. It is mental torture every day for me. And then I'll hear their footsteps, or I'll hear one of them cough, or move in the room. And I'll realize, yes, you have 2 boys that don't understand, that love their mom. And so I get up and do it.
Yeah. I'd like to introduce Dr. Leslie Williams, who's with us in the audience. Dr. Williams, will you stand and tell us who you are?
Sure. I'm a medical doctor at Remuda Ranch. It's an inpatient treatment center for women and girls just like you, Lori, suffering with eating disorders.
Do you think that she can get well on her own?
Absolutely not. Her eating disorder has gotten to the point where she requires intensive treatment.
Intensive inpatient probably treatment.
Absolutely.
A lot of times, to go away from her family in order to get better.
Absolutely. A lot of times people say, well, just eat, and it's not that easy. It requires a multidisciplinary team. It requires medical monitoring. She has to really get that intensive treatment in order to get better.
Do you want to get better?
Most days.
So if there was help for you, would you take it?
Yes.
You would take it. Well, I know, Dr. Williams, you have a very special announcement for Lori.
I do. At Remuda, we have treated over 7,000 women just like you. We understand the toll that this disease has taken on you and your family, and we want to help. 1 year after treatment, 95% of women that get help can actually be in good recovery from this disease. Today, we want to offer you intensive, inpatient treatment at no cost to you and your family.
Thank you. How does that sound to you? How does that sound?
It's the scariest thing to imagine, but yet the best thing I could have asked for.
We'll be right back.
Next, all new Tyra. One of my wildest interviews ever.
He used this on his lips.
I can't even believe it.
I kissed LL Cool J!
And a confession he's never made before. Plus, Danity Kane.
One of you does a Diddy impression. Where my camera crew at?
Next, all new Tyra.
To say about that?
100% wrong. African American girls, Asian girls, Latina girls and women, those are our highest rates right now of people starting to have eating disorders. And eating disorders are an equal opportunity offender for race, class, gender, and sexual orientation. It affects everyone.
You know, when I started seeing all the pictures of me that were in the tabloids, saying that I'd gained all that weight, and it was saying fat and waddle and all that stuff, first I was, personally hurt, but then I immediately went to young girls that look up to me. And that look up to me. I get mail and letters all the time, even on our website here at tyrashow.com, all the time. You're curvier, you're beautiful, that makes me feel beautiful. So then I thought, okay, they think I'm curvy and say that they're beautiful because they think that I'm beautiful and they see a reflection of themselves. So when they see that, and they see me being called waddle, overweight, disgusting, American, all that negative stuff, it's making them hate themselves too. And I'm talking about young girls of color. That immediately went to my head. And another thing that I think is very important is on today's show, we've had women on the show that were extremely thin, so thin that you can't stop staring at how thin they are. It's so shocking. But that is not the typical anorexic. Can you speak on that?
Yes, in the same way that this is not just a white girl's disease, this is not just a thin girl's disease. We have something in this country called an EDNOS, an eating disorder not otherwise specified. That's what I struggled with. I bounced in between anorexia, bulimia, and binge eating. I never looked like some of the guests on the show today. I didn't look like I was in danger of dying, but I was. I was starving and struggling and binging and purging, and 25 million women in this country do the same thing.
I think that is like one of the most important things said today, because I know a lot of women are going, I binge, I purge, I starve myself, but I don't look that skinny. There's nothing wrong with me. So you're letting them know that there is something wrong. You do not have to be stick skinny to be sick. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning and other consideration for the Tyra Banks Show provided by...
At the top of the show, I started talking about how the media influences the way women feel about their bodies and how it has affected me personally. And now, as I said, fortunately, I'm so lucky to have a strong sense of self and a good support system that keeps me from hurting myself when other people say hurtful things. But some of my guests today aren't as lucky. They are in a deep pain and in deep danger of dying from an eating disorder. So I want to leave them with this message. Please look in the mirror and try to love what you see. This is not something that happens overnight. This is a process, which Jessica has explained to us today. I want to thank our friends at Remuda Ranch Programs for Eating Disorders for providing treatment and hope for Lori and her family. And I want to thank you, Jessica, so much too. You always help so well. Now, is your life or someone that you love being destroyed by an eating disorder? I want you to go to tyrashow.com for more information on how you can help or get help for someone that you love. See you next time.